So what is EMEA? What's this about? If you've not worked in very corporate sectors or some big organizations, it's mostly a sales-driven term that stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
What's on the street has it that Africa is barely recognized or acknowledged when it comes to EMEA talks.
As we say, the air there is silent.
Kelvin Undemo believed he has had his own share of this marginalization.
I've worked with two companies from Europe, and those are like out of probably around 50 or 60 roles that I have applied. You can see the acceptance rate is not, you don't even get to a position where you even start discussing, like coding challenge or something like that. It's just rejection after rejection, just based on the fact that you're not authorized. Around EMEA, most of the roles, you'll find that they're mostly listed by companies in Europe, and most of those roles are mostly targeted by, maybe in this case, developers who already have a working visa. There are some companies who are going to sponsor you to go and maybe work in, for instance, a country there. But then you'll find most of them are usually just targeted towards people who already have work authorization in those specific countries. So when most guys apply from the continent here, there's even a high chance that they even never get to get a response.
Meanwhile, Nicholas Ogundipe, an EMEA recruiter with 10 years experience, holds a fairly different opinion.
We let ourselves be in this situation because ordinarily Nigeria possesses a lot of skills that are needed out there across various industries. But because some people that have been opportune to get some of these remote roles or roles that are open to this particular region have abused the privileges given, right? So it's taking a toll on those that are actually genuinely interested in doing the job for those companies.
He also has his reservations for cases where these biases are necessary because they are part of the rules governing recruitment.
For some of these roles that you see EMEA, for some of the roles you see a particular location next to that job. Now, so there is EMEA remote, right? And there is EMEA maybe Lisbon or Berlin, right? If you see those kinds of roles, ordinarily the person will be based in Berlin or Lisbon, but the person has an idea of that particular region. So if the role says that, okay, they are open to relocation, yes, you can go ahead to apply because it states EMEA and a particular location. That means they're looking forward to relocating you to that location. But if it says EMEA and that location and they don't mention anything about relocation, well, I would entirely discourage that person from applying for that job because it'll be a waste of your time. But if it says the role is EMEA and it is remote, you stand a better chance of getting that job if you are qualified.
So, how can African talent beat this system?
I go through thousands of CVs every day, and you find out that people just apply for those jobs because of the designation of those roles, not entirely because they are qualified for it. So a lot of people will tell you that, yes, I applied for this, I applied for that, and I was rejected. People still apply for roles that are EMEA based and they still get those jobs. I was still reading on one of my HR groups yesterday. Someone had a friend of ours working for a global firm for like 10 years. The person was paid about $500,000 for working for a global firm. I don't know what firm that is, but yeah, there are people still doing those kind of jobs. I work for a global brand also, though originating from Nigeria, but has offices spread across the world now, and I essentially don't report to the Nigerian reporting line. My recruitment was actually done from Dubai. So it's all about looking out for those little things. One, even if you are qualified for the job, does your CV actually tell the story as it should be?
Most people don't know the power of LinkedIn. So you'll find that most developers just go to LinkedIn and say, I'm a software engineer working at a certain company, just that. And they don't put a lot of attention to explaining what they did there because most of the guys who are looking to hire seriously, some will even visit LinkedIn profiles or even ask for recommendations. So it's very important for you to build the confidence of somebody you don't know by explaining what exactly you did. So if let's say you worked at maybe Google or something like that, or maybe Microsoft, just outlining what you managed to achieve there so that you can give this person an insight of your experience. Then another thing is, I think during the time, like the last 2 years, I've been actively reviewing a lot of CVs. So I've seen like even some of the guys that I know are very good engineers, but when it comes to reviewing their CVs with a panel, you actually can't back their CV up despite the fact that you know them, because of how poorly it's crafted.
Every May 25th, the International Africa Day is celebrated globally and serves as an opportunity to appreciate and recognize the rich history, cultural diversity, and incredible achievements of Africa, while also commemorating the foundation of the African Union. As we keep advocating for proper representation, it is important for African talent to develop themselves and become indispensable. Make yourself so good that you can't be ignored. At that point, location wouldn't even matter.